Welcome to the Virtual Strategic Solutions Virtual Reality Simulation System. Accessing Legacy Dataset. Files loaded. Simulation ready. Originally a part of the X-22 Botanical Garden Lab at Big MT, spore plants were later incorporated into the agricultural experiments of Vault 22 with the transfer of Bovarea mordicana. The plants eventually breached the confines of the vault and proliferated into the wasteland, seen growing as far north as Arroyo and far east as Zion Canyon. The spore plants will attack anything within its range, which, despite being rooted in the ground, can be quite far with corrosive spit that it can secrete and shoot at significant speed and range. This marked the evolution of the spore plant from 2241, as prior spore plants would throw spikes at perceived threats. The use of spikes did not disappear from spore plants, however, as spikes now grow at the base of spore plants, likely to protect themselves from being uprooted. When investigating Vault 22, research scientist Keeley noted that although they largely ignored her as she progressed through the vault, they were capable of contaminating her live samples. Spore plants also seem to have a symbiotic relationship with mantises, as mantises will feed some of their prey to the spore plants and allow them to grow in the proximity of their oothecae, likely to protect the still-growing young mantises. But, as Keeley noted, when mantises attempted to feed her to the plants, they were disinclined to eat ghoul meat, indicating a preference among the species. Keeley continues to report that one of the chemicals secreted by the spore plants serves as a mild stimulant when ingested by humans, and reiterates to the courier the utmost importance in keeping the vault sealed, to avoid any more spores escaping the quarantine. Spore plants are violent in nature and attack without provocation. They are immune to poison and radiation. The plant has two methods of attacking. Because of its stationary nature, its most common attack is a spike projectile which it spits at its enemies. This projectile has a very long range and can potentially be very harmful if exposed to the attack for too long. If an enemy gets too close, the mutant plant will lunge at them and bite with its thorned maw. Found frequently throughout Vault 22, Zion Canyon, and sparsely in Big MT, these creatures are weak and pose little to no threat, even to low-level characters. A giant and much tougher version of the regular spore plant that is found in some of the caves of Zion National Park and can be sparsely found in the Big MT. A unique specimen of the spore plant found in the Big MT, northeast of the Signal Hills transmitter, and is the most powerful variant of the spore plant. It spawns when the quest field research is activated. Despite being rooted to the ground, pushing them will move them around. Landing a critical hit during VATS with a powerful enough weapon can also send them flying in a ragdoll fashion. They also can turn their heads, despite being a stationary creature. They can turn around 360 degrees to face the player character should they circle around the spore plant, even though they are supposed to be rooted to the ground. Simulation completed. Please exit the pod or have a technician select another file.